necessarily reflect those of the advertisers, owners, or management of Pacific Telestations LLC. For comments, opinions, and questions, please email Jess Lujan at jessthebuzz@gmail.com. The Buzz with Jess Lujan.
Good evening, Guam. I'm Jess Lujan. Welcome to this edition of The Buzz. Great show tonight. I have former senator, my colleague in the 27th, 28th, and 29th Guam legislature, Senator Rory Respicio. Good evening. How you doing?
Good evening, Jesse.
Yeah.
Senator Jesse, thank you for inviting me on your show.
Hey, you look good. You look good.
Well,
you look refreshed.
Well, I feel good. I feel good. I'm taking a break. It's a forced break.
There you go.
But I'm realizing after just 2.5 months that this is something that everyone should do.
Yeah,
so I recommend
there we go.
taking a break.
And you have you're getting a feeling of what it's like to be in the private sector and actually giving you more experience, as a matter of fact, right? There's always a reason for something, yeah?
Actually, all my life I've been doing government stuff, whether it was working at the legislature or the executive branch or the Department of Youth Affairs before becoming a senator and being there for 14 consecutive years. You know, I've told myself, and my discipline is that I didn't want to go back to the executive branch or do legislative work as a consultant. People have said that I wouldn't last a day in the private sector. But you know, it's been 2.5 months and I'm surviving.
And you look good.
Well,
you look good. Yeah.
I feel good, really, and I'm
yeah.
grateful that the people of Guam have given me this opportunity for the last 14 years, and they're still very respectful. When I go out there, they still refer to me as a senator, and I have to tell them, oh, no, I didn't get reelected. Some say they know. Majority, believe it or not, say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that."
Yeah. No,
So,
some of them would do it,
yeah.
but I tell you, they'll always call you senator. They still call me that now. You know, but I tell you, enjoy it. It was great. It was great serving with you. And I gotta say, Rory, again, I say this all the time. Whenever we are public, I say this is one guy that we served in opposite sides of the fence in this regard, you Democratic Party, me Republican Party. This guy is very good on his word. And so, again, once he gives you his word, you can take that to the bank.
And I think that's what is helping me, particularly not being in office, is just being able to keep those relationships and those bridges, and it was built on your word, and not only the word but the follow through.
That's
and
right.
I have to say that Governor Calvo and his administration have been very, very pleasant. Also, I have a couple cases that I'm working on, and the few directors that I'm interacting with. I mean, it's just nothing but pleasant.
And that's great.
All I ask is just
give me a fair chance.
fair chance. Now, don't bend the rules. Don't
that's right.
break the laws. Don't do anything.
Don't do anything special for me, but just give me a chance.
And
but
generally, that's how it's been, and I'm feeling good about it.
I'm the same. I'm the same way. But it's great. Well, let's talk about actually this, because you know, tonight, of course, the governor's second to the last State of the Island address. There'll be the first time in a long time, actually, that a governor will be, again, having this address at the old Congress building. And legislature had, if I'm not mistaken, I think has completely moved in now into the old Congress building. From what I gather, from what I gather here. Now, we were talking about this before we got on air in regards to some people dislike some senators in general. I guess they dislike the legislature. But in regards to the institution, you know, whether you're there or you're leaving the institution will continue to live on. I think what you tried to do, and your colleagues in the previous legislature, was again, have the old Congress building live on in its legacy in the past, because it definitely has a past. Not only with the legislature, but it used to be a courthouse as well. to continue to live on. And I think that's what you wanted to do, and to live up to really what it is and have it a place of honor and dignity. Is that, yeah?
Well, a couple of things. It took 26 years for the
Yeah.
legislature to get back in that old building. The building itself is a historic building. We worked really hard, had strong partnership with the Guam Historic Preservation Trust, with the administration, to do this, not only because it made sense financially, that the legislature will go from renting to actually having the people of Guam own the building. That building, with all its energy efficiencies that we put into place, would have saved at least $200,000 a year from the rent that we're. I mean, and they go to, and we did that without any single $1 appropriation from the general fund. We did that by getting $3.5 million from the Historic Preservation Trust. We did $4 million from a bank, from the Bank of Guam, that former Senator Lujan Guerrero, she guess believing she was a member there, she wanted to contribute, so she responded to an RFP that Gita put out, and gave us a very low interest rate that we're using the post office lease, which we were basically on a year to year, but then we negotiated a long-term lease, securitized that, and got financing. And so we got the occupancy permit before the ribbon cutting ceremony. I wanted to make sure that we had a ribbon cutting ceremony where all the former senators, former speakers, former governors who were former speakers, just the nostalgia and seeing them interact, the beauty of that building and the presence, right? And then I thought all along the plan was that they were going to just stay after the inauguration of the 34th legislature and then continue to operate there. But I was surprised when Mike Nicholas said no, he didn't want to move in because there's no furniture. And Speaker B.J. Cruz supported that. They seemed to have wanted to move in with all the furniture in place, but I said the plan all along is to use folding tables and chairs here. I mean, I've done it when I was moving into my senatorial office, and during Pang Sung Wan, that office wasn't available.
Well, we did that, and, in the sessions that we had in the very beginning of the 27th Guam legislature.
In fact, the inauguration was over at the judiciary.
Supreme Court.
So and they could have done that for the last 2 months, but instead, Mike Nicholas chose to spend $62,000 on rent, on power, and he made a big to-do about an investigation, saying that those change orders were illegal. He basically charged us as being guilty even before he could do the investigation. He had his posse do the investigation, and we talked about that on your show, where I said, if you really want to do an investigation, which I believe you should, have the Attorney General or the Public Auditor do it. But instead, his executive director, who he handpicks, did the investigation. Apparently, there was no findings of wrongdoing because you never heard of the result of that investigation. I've asked the media to get a hold of the copy. There is one. Then I found out that he canceled the furniture order, claiming that he saved thousands of dollars for the people of Guam, which continues to be misleading the people, not being very clear that that money is from the Capital District Fund. You cannot use that money for anything other than the restoration of the building.
To include the contents,
then with that furniture order, the architect was the one who placed the order because
to base it so it can be in concert with the with the building.
So you maximize the number of staff that you can be in there, the number of senators that can be in there. You know, in some instances I was very hands-on, like to making sure they stick to timelines. But in other instances I was hands-off when it came to the process and the regulatory process. Mike Nicholas said that the occupancy permit was given because it's political, that there was political pressure and it was given and the building wasn't ready.
You know, basically, I think he was alluding to the fact that you guys wanted to be in there prior to the start of the 34th Guam legislature.
And we wanted to be in there to save money. The whole purpose was to prevent the continuation of rental there, and it was a plan to go from renting to owning. But look what's happening today. What he did the other day by having everybody move in over a weekend, he basically could have done that right after the December session and then during the inauguration, because he canceled the furniture order and he brought in all this furniture. I invite the people of Guam to go and take a look at Mike Nicholas's setup. take a look at what he's done to degrade the significance of that building.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to save, really? You have all these...
Well, and that was my question to you here is that the building and its content should continue to live on. At some point, it have to be replenished. But if you've designed it, and you said that you guys work in concert with the architect to make sure that it's all in concert, that it complements each other. You don't have a historic building, then you have the super modern, furniture and all this, right? So you need things that will complement.
But they were not even extravagant furniture.
Well,
it was cubicles type setup, so that one bay area can fit about 20 people.
Sure.
The other thing is, Mike's Nicholas made a big to-do about a $6,000 table and a $900 chair. I asked the architect the other day, I don't recall a $900 chair. He said, you're right, there's no $900 chair in the inventory. And he said that $6,000 table that Mike's Nicholas is talking about, it's a table to fit 22 people for the majority caucus room.
So, yeah.
So when you look at a $6,000 piece of furniture to fit 22 people, you can kind of in your mind say, oh, okay, that's reasonable, right? Because it's all wood. But the kind of press release that Mike put out, oh, there's a $6,000 table and a $900 chair, made it look like it's one desk.
And we could get it for $200 or something like that. I got to take a quick break.
Okay.
We'll continue talking.